Here's a game, Slavic, 1991. D4. Let's see. I'll go back to playing a Nimzo. I got a Grinfeld in, or maybe a Slav. Nimzo, I guess. It's don't normally start a Slav with the knight move like that. Okay. Yeah, he's playing the classical variation, or the Capablanca. Yeah, I learned last time I looked this up, they normally take the pawn and you take back. That's the kind of the main line. I guess I just take. And he takes with the pawn. If he takes with the queen, you can try the move knight to e4 there. So he takes with the pawn. I will just castle, then develop my pieces. If he takes here, he's got tripled pawns, and I can probably win one anyway back with the move like queen to see. Can I draw that? Yeah, move like queen to a5 would win one of those pawns back. But here we go. He's gone ahead with e4. Maybe I was rushing this a little bit. So if I play, can I make that go away? Yeah. If I play d4, d5 here, and he pushes, I have to play knight to e4, or I want to play knight to e4. Then he kicks the knight. Is it dead? Does it have a square to go to? Here, 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 here. Here, here. Back to here. No, that doesn't work either. Well, I still want to play d5. I guess I'll just have to retreat the knight after that. I wonder if there's some tactical trick that lets you play knight to e4. It looks somehow like it might be playable. Maybe because f3 is a bit weakening. So I'd have the queen check. Let's think about this. Oh, he doesn't play that. He takes first. And then he pushes. Okay, so let's think about this. So I put the knight here. He plays f3. I have the queen check. If he blocks with the knight, I mean, if he blocks with the g-pawn, I take with the knight. And otherwise, he could block. He can't block with the queen. Yeah, so I can play this. Actually, can play it. I had a feeling that was a playable move. So he goes like that. So queen now, queen to h4 now is not really helping, because he could play g3 supported by two pawns. So we'll try this. Try f5. If he takes en passant, the knight takes back, defending h2. His king is exposed, or h7. His king is exposed. Yeah. So I can pile up on that, but it's defended by the bishop. Let's take here. He did go with the pawn. Okay, let's pile up on the center. I was thinking, if he took with the knight, at least I would get a check in, but I could just retreat. So that wasn't necessarily... He could have taken with the knight and left me with an isolated queen's pawn. I believe he could have done that. Let's see. If I lift my queen up to d6, he's got knight, or bishop. He's got bishop here. So actually, I am going to put my rook here. So the idea of queen d6, bishop f4, hitting the queen. Rook takes knight, hitting his queen. He takes back, I take the bishop. But none of that happened, so queen here. Still, if he plays bishop f4, I have rook takes knight, I think. Rook takes knight, bishop takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop takes rook. I don't have it. It does not work. So I'll just move my queen back if he plays bishop f4. Maybe bishop f4, knight takes. He moves the queen, I take the knight with check and then take the bishop. Or he takes the knight. Interesting. Okay, let's develop my bishop. That was one of my ideas of putting the rook over here, was to try and get pressure against this knight. Still adequately defended, isn't it? Bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes. But, well, kicks it back anyway. So if I come here and then here, he can take and win a pawn on g6. If I come back and he kicks it, I could retreat all the way to f7. Yeah, I just realized already he can take the knight and then take the pawn on h7. So probably I should play h6. It might be an interesting exchange sack if I could win the d-pawn, but he can take with the bishop and the rook defends the d-pawn, so that's not, does not look like it's happening. Okay, I've got a disconnect and a reconnect. Oh, Lichess has been updated. Sorry for the inconvenience. And then it added 20 seconds to our clocks. Okay. So hopefully my opponent is still playing. Just making sure I'm at the end of the game. So bishop takes, queen takes, bishop here check, king here, and then he retreats the bishop right away. If he leaves the bishop there, I could take the knight, distracting the queen, and then take the bishop. But he just retreats the bishop right away, and he's okay. He snagged a pawn, and it's my move. Maybe I take on e5. Maybe that becomes possible for me to take on d4 there, rather. Slavic, please, I hope you're not disconnected. There he goes. Okay, moved his queen to defend. And it's to attack also. Okay, and he gave up on the h-pawn. Maybe he didn't want to give up the bishop here, but I think he could have just snagged a pawn there. Okay, let's not let him take my b pawn. I don't want to give that up. It's a little trump card for the endgame over here on the queen side. So maybe rook c8, knight to a5 to c4. It's a way to play this. He still has queen or bishop f4 whenever he wants to, hitting my queen. So I do have to be careful about that. Okay, just drop the bishop back. Oh, he's going to put the queen in front of the bishop. So let's think about this. If I play the pawn up, well, I shouldn't be in any hurry, but say I play a rook move, and then he puts his queen in front of the bishop, and then I play the pawn up. It takes my knight, I take back. The queen comes in here with check. The king goes to f8 or f7, and I think things are okay. Well, the queen can come down to the back rank and chase me out to the e file. Requires a little bit of care. Okay, but let's see what he does. Queen to h7 leaves his knight hanging. Queen c2 to h7. So he doesn't do any of that. Now if I play h6, his knight maybe can come into... yeah, let's kick that bishop anyway. I think it's time to resolve this. If it can't retreat, I'll just take it. I'll trap it. I mean, it can't retreat to h4. It can retreat back along this diagonal, of course. There it goes. Okay, so now bring the knight into the c5 square. He can take it. He can take that knight. c4 square. Knight h5, a5 to c4 is what I want. Ah, now he goes for the queen. Yeah. Makes some sense. If he chases me, I'll drop back to f7, I guess. If he gives up his dark squared bishop, maybe I'll go after the d-pawn again. He'll have one less defender of the d-pawn. But I have a light squared bishop, so it's not going to be so easy for me to attack it. Let's have a check here now. Okay, so he just chases my queen. Yeah. Let's drop back to f7 like I planned. Keep in touch with the rook's pieces. Let me see. Maybe I could have considered knight c4. So rook there, knight to c4, rook takes queen, knight takes queen, rook takes rook check, I take back. It's just an even exchange. And one thing the light squared bishop is good for maybe is poking at these rooks, like bishop to a4 hitting this rook. Also keeps control of the f5 square where the knight might hop into. Well, it's not control though because he's got the bishop on it too. Okay, decided to take. I was with check, so didn't have time to play knight c4. Yeah, so now he goes and takes. Finally, and the queen there. Okay, so he's attacking this pawn. And he's maybe looking to come in. I want to get something going with my knight here. And I am going to just ignore the fact that he's taking that pawn. So he dropped back. I was going to play the knight to f4 then. What's his idea? His idea is to line up like that. Okay. That I thought was not a problem. There's a check here. Let's go ahead and get that check in. Okay, so queen up here. His queen comes in with check. I move here. His queen goes here, check. I move here. Then this is loose, but if he attacks it, I can bring my queen this way, my king this way. So where do I want the queen? Well, I'm putting some pressure on this pawn. I want the queen where it can attack over here too, but okay, now his queen is hanging. There is no check. Got to go back there. Now, do I have something here? Probably I just step aside and get my king out of trouble. Let him find something. Threatening to take here, maybe. Okay, he ran out of time. Well, interesting game. I guess I will check that out and do a post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.